Okay, so hello again. Welcome to Dayspace Lockdown Discs. Today we are interviewing Julia,
Hello.
and yes, this should be fun. This should be fun.
We'll have to see, won't we,
We
Anthony?
will have to see. I'll make it as easy as possible for
Oh,
you, as
yes.
always, Julia.
I
Just
believe
relax.
you. All right.
So so we'll start off with the first question. I think that's sensible.
Mm-hmm.
What is your role at Dayspace, and where do you work?
Okay, so I work at Reigate Dayspace, and I mainly do the singing sessions. I do a bit of dancing, not much dancing, but I like to join in with the dancing, and I have a bake space as well with a couple of people, which is really lovely. But mainly I do the singing with some extraordinary musicians. Who do I mainly work with? Let me think. Well, I work with Dom sometimes.
Yes.
Sometimes
yes,
I work with
Dom.
Stu and
Stu
Joe.
and Joe.
But mainly
You know,
with
any
Anthony.
chance for it?
So mainly we have a good day on a Wednesday, don't we? That's kind of our day.
Yes. Yeah, Wednesday's amazing.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
so that's
okay.
that. That's
so
what I do.
you're very busy. I mean, I don't do much. I just play guitar, but you're really busy. Okay, so
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like to do. I like to do all that, and I like the safe space as well, where all the guys sit around and we have big chats.
that's always struck me as something I'd like to sit in on one time. It'd be really interesting.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
talk about all sorts of things. It's great. It's really good.
Brilliant. Okay, yeah, well answered. So what did you do before you worked at Dayspace?
Well, before I worked at Dayspace, I was a secretary, a PA, personal assistant, and I worked for companies. I've worked in London, Red Hill, Reigate, and then I mainly sort of did that. But then I had sort of a bit of a life-changing experience, Anthony.
You were abducted by aliens, weren't you, Julia?
I wasn't, no.
I think it probably changed their lives as well when that happened, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they got a shot of me quite quickly.
Yeah.
But no, so I had a tragedy in my life, guys. I'm not going to labour it, but my mum passed away a few years ago, and I sort of left my secretarial job. I sort of had to do a life rethink. And at the time I was in a band with Stu back in the day, in the 90s. Yes, we are that old, ladies and gentlemen. And he said to me, what are you doing? And I said, I don't really know. I was sort of floating. And he said, come and do a few shifts at the care home where he was working, Milstead Care. He was working at
So this
West
is before
End.
Dayspace was not really even open.
This is in like 2000. Yeah, it was a long time, 20 years ago.
Right.
And he said, come and do some shifts where I work. It's really fun, and that was great. And then I didn't leave for like 8 years. I was there, so I worked at West Haven with some of the guys there.
Yeah.
And then I left to have babies.
Yeah.
And
You've got 18 children.
yeah, there's 17.
17.
Yeah.
sorry.
No, I've got the two boys, thank you. And basically, Stuart, he doesn't leave me alone, that fellow. He phoned me up and said, we're doing Dayspace.
Yeah.
Come and have
Give it a
come
go,
and check
yeah.
it out. Come to a
Yeah.
session, check it out.
Mhm.
And he said, you'll love it. And I thought, oh, crikey. So, yeah, I went along. And, yeah, I've been here for 5 years.
Fantastic.
Yeah, over 5 years now, doing
Wow.
singing.
I know we sort of had this one on my desert lockdown disc thing
Yeah.
that it's you don't know really whether you want to do. You come down, check it out, and then it sort of gets into you a little bit, doesn't it?
It
And that's to
does.
a lot of people, not just us, I think, doesn't it?
But
Yeah.
I started working just one day a week on a Thursday. And now I do the 3 days.
Yeah.
3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
That's a nice
So-
little batch in the middle of the week, and then you
Yeah.
get a long,
With the long
that's
weekend.
nice.
But it's good. So that's what I did before
Brilliant,
Dayspace,
brilliant.
yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So another quite an involved question here, and then it gets a bit easier.
We'll see.
What have you been doing during lockdown?
Right, okay. So
Which seems a bit of a while ago now, doesn't it? Because we're in.
we're sort of out of lockdown, but being
Yeah.
very careful.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
during lockdown, it was fantastic. It really was, because we said it on your lockdown disc, the weather was so good. So there was lots and lots of, walking. We walked dogs for a lady. So we would every other day. We were going for nice walks in the morning on the golf course because nobody was playing golf back in those early lockdown. So we were just, we just had a great time walking. Oh, spending time with the kids because they weren't at school, and
I mean, in a way, it's perfect opportunity for things like that, isn't it? Be able to just spend time with your family and
and thankfully we all get on.
Blissful, but exactly.
Yeah, I mean, we actually do get on really well, so it was really great. But I really enjoyed doing all our lockdown kind of videos for the Dayspace online stuff. That was really fun. Spending the day, recording. We did some stuff and did some stuff with Dom and Joe. It was really fun. Just sort of passed the time. It was like a little project, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it could make you feel like you were sort of still working and feel better about not doing it, nothing at all.
Just, doing nothing. I'm quite good at doing nothing, though.
I'm not bad. I'll have a competition one day, so you can do the least.
Who can do the least? It'd be a close call, I think, because you're quite a loafer.
Oh, yeah.
Amongst other things.
Well, that sounds great, though. So you've used the time. You've kind of.
Yeah, I really got into podcasts as well because I found
listening
to podcasts. I was finding listening to the radio. I like the talk radio, the phone-in stations, and I was finding it all a bit depressing to listen to because obviously it's not been the subject of what we've been going through, and so I discovered podcasts, and I started listening to sort of fairy tales. That was my first foray into, and I love true crime podcasts.
Yes, I know what this is about.
Yeah. So and historical characters, like figures throughout history. I like listening to their sort of stories. It's been quite good. So I feel like I've discovered a new listening thing.
Yeah. I'll have to look into that. I've heard a couple, but people rave about it.
No, I'm really into it. Film reviews and things like that. I really like all that stuff.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and I don't listen to the radio even now. Now we're sort of out of lockdown and still on my podcast. Yeah.
It's good to change it up, isn't it? Because you do the same thing year after year, and you get into these little habits, and then you find something new. That's great when that happens, actually. Isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Find something else to entertain yourself. That's really interesting. Yeah. So slightly easier now, I hope. Less involved questions. So let's talk some music. Okay, so what music have you been listening to during lockdown? Well,
obviously, I was saying it's not music, but the podcast, but also I've been listening, initially I started listening to all the shows, sort of Jesus Christ Superstar, Evita. I love the musical Heathers, and just really revisiting old musicals. I really liked that. But then an album that I particularly got into was a Coldplay, and I'm not really a Coldplay. I don't not like Coldplay, but I wouldn't say I was into Coldplay. But there's an album that they do called Ghost Stories, and it's a very relaxing, sort of mellow album, and I've been listening to that on my walks, my dog walks, and things like that.
So you surprised yourself by listening to that?
Yeah. Once I'd got the theatre out of me, I think I just really needed to sing. Because I wasn't singing anymore, no bands, because I'm in bands and all that stopped, of course.
So you're walking through the woods singing at the top of your voice?
Yeah, because they don't let me sing at home. I'm not allowed to sing at home.
I wonder why.
Yes, teenage boys do not like mummy's theatre singing.
Should you ever listen to that Coldplay track?
Yeah, so there's one track in particular that I particularly love. And it's called Another's Arms. From Ghost Stories by Coldplay.
Let's have a listen to that.
Okay.
Late night watching TV. Used to be here beside me. Used to be your arms around me. Your body on my body. When the world means nothing to me, another's arms. beside me. Wish that your arms were around me. Your body on my body.
Interesting choice, Julia. No, really.
What did you think of that?
Yeah, that was great. I really liked it.
Did you like it? But it's quite a different Coldplay number.
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
sort of, you know.
No, they're sort of
usual.
hit and miss for me, Coldplay. I like some stuff, but
They're like Marmite, I think, for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, it isn't about me. For once in my life, it isn't about me.
But I've really enjoyed listening to that.
Yeah. Great, excellent. Yeah. Okay, so yes, let's have a quick chat about why you've chosen that.
Well, I tell you why. We have a motorhome, and as a family, we like going off to France for long periods of time during August, which is handy. And I remember a particular day, the kids were asleep in the back; they were younger, and Chris and I were on this real slog. It was like an uphill. Well, I say it's a slog. It was lovely. We were driving through France, but it was and we were driving. She doesn't like hills, does Bertie? Well, she's good, but not fast. So you get lots of people overtaking you. But we stuck this album on. It was really warm and it was beautiful French countryside. And that album just reminds me of that moment. And I think being in lockdown, it was quite holiday-ish.
Yes,
in a way.
so you're imagining what you could be doing during this tricky time. I mean, I
So
totally understand that.
It took me back.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's completely, Okay, yeah, interesting. So, moving away from music a little bit.
Really?
Yeah,
all right, let's move away.
Kind of interesting. So, what other hobbies do you have then?
Ah, right,
Again,
okay.
I found that when I was asked this, it kind of bleeds into what you did during lockdown. I'm sure there'll be some repetition. But
well, I did. So I really like knitting. My nanny, she taught me to knit when I was a wee nipper, Anthony. And a wee knitter.
Sorry.
But she taught me to knit, and so actually during lockdown I got my big bag. It's a big bag of knitting. I have lots of wool.
Have you been doing it, or you just?
On and off. I have periods. So if I have over the years, if friends of mine were pregnant, I'd just knit them a blanket and things. I was really proud. I loved that. It was like a project.
Right.
So at the beginning of lockdown, I was like, right, knitting, please. Got my thing. I could open a wool shop. I'm telling you, I have so much wool, and it's all the odds and bits. And I knitted some bunting. So bunting, but it doesn't.
For what occasion would you have knitted bunting? I might be.
Well, just you could hang it somewhere or put it in a cupboard.
Teddy Bear's birthday, maybe. Like that.
What's that?
Teddy Bear's birthday or something.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it hasn't gone up in our house.
Right.
So it's in a cupboard for maybe a friend's birthday or something. It's like, oh, here's some bunting that I made. But yeah, so I really like the knitting.
Good on you.
Yeah, reading.
I think if you actually make something for somebody, I can imagine that it's appreciated more because it's got love in it. You've not just nipped down to the shop and
bought a blanket.
Nice, I like that.
Yeah, no, I started to make a blanket, and I can't remember what the technique was, but I kind of finished the blanket unfinished. I was done with it. I was quite upset by my colour choices, to be honest. I was like, what colours have you done? And it makes me question my colour choices. But there we are. So, yeah, knitting.
Right. Great, okay.
I'm sure I have many other hobbies. I love cooking.
Yeah, after this interview, I sort of walked away thinking, God, I didn't mention that. But
yeah. No, cooking I love. Yeah. So we've had a lot of time to do some prop cooking.
Yeah.
I like it from scratch.
Yes, yeah. Well, I've tasted your food. It's pretty good. Like.
Oh, I thought you were going to say...
No.
Yeah.
Come on, it's great.
That chicken salad was good.
No, you are good. So, that's plenty. You're pretty busy. Okay, quick fire round.
Oh,
okay, so... Really interesting. I think I might know the answer to this one. I'm sure you've told me before. Favourite film?
Right, okay, so I'm an 80s girl. I love the 80s. So it's a joint. I have a joint first tie.
Controversial.
So St. Elmo's Fire.
Yeah.
Love it. Rob Lowe is the Brat Pack. Tied with the Karate Kid.
Yes.
There is nothing wrong with Sand Floor. I just love all of that. I love the Karate Kid. They're my favourite movies. I could watch them endlessly.
Yeah.
But the 80s. I should say something more intelligent, like, I don't know. I like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest as well. That's a good movie.
That's brilliant.
Anyway, it's endless.
Excellent. Okay,
endless.
so quick fire. Anyway.
Yeah, okay.
So, favourite food?
Spaghetti bolognese.
Can't go wrong with that, can you?
Brilliant.
I think a lot of people would agree.
Loads of cheese.
Lots of it. Parmesan?
Parmesan. I'll take anything. Mozzarella, cheddar. Oh, don't get me on cheeses.
Okay, quick fire.
All right.
Favourite time of year?
Favourite time of year? I do like winter. Oh. I'm a winter birthday girl. Last day of the year. Don't forget it, everyone. I quite like winter. Right. I like being... I like layers
the snug, cosy kind of...
I mean, I like summer too. I do like summer. I like...
You like kind of like spring and autumn.
You know when
don't you?
I do.
So you like living, basically, yeah.
You know what I really like? I like the changing seasons. So when you're coming out of a season into another, I like it when all the mushrooms and fungus come out.
I love
so we'll be on a walk.
Yeah. When it changes from summer to and the colours.
All the colours, all the trees, everything. Yeah. But I don't like cold rain, but I like a wintry day.
I like being sort of like snugly tucked away when in the house and when it's horrible outside. That's a nice feeling.
I like onesies and slippers, and I'm all about sort of cozy. I like cozy.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so favourite session at Dayspace.
I knew this was coming. What did you say?
Well, I remember I think I said in my interview Wednesday, and you said I think you said it's a slightly different day. I know we love Wednesday, so I won't be offended.
Wednesday,
it's not with me, don't worry.
There's many a session, and if I had to pick one, now when I joined Dayspace, I had the big Thursday morning.
Yeah.
And that's just one big party, and if you come to Thursday mornings, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's amazing. So Thursday mornings, because it's nostalgic. Yeah. And it's always like a party.
Yes.
Even if you're feeling a bit, where am I going to find the energy? Because we need energy in this job.
Yes.
Comes to life. It's brilliant. Yeah. So Thursday morning, but obviously Wednesdays all day with you.
Yeah. Of course. Okay. So favourite colour.
Green, same as you, but not light green. You like light green.
Yes.
I'm kind of like mossies.
Okay.
Mossy greenies.
Well, when we move in together,
green.
We'll have a sort of, we'll have
a green room.
A green room.
Where we've got beers and wine in it, and fluffy puppies, and orange Smarties.
Okay.
That can be our green room. And no one's allowed in it.
Okay, moving swiftly. Favourite book? Apart from your colouring book.
You laugh, but I don't mind colouring books.
I know.
But that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Lord of the Flies, just because when I was at school, and I was probably about 13, 14.
Yes.
And
so
it was on the...
Yes, exactly. It was on syllabus.
No, you're much older than me. How rude. Anyway,
yes.
We read it as part of our English. It was on the curriculum. And I remember just loving it. And there's a black and white movie that is quite scary.
It is a scary.
It's like when the guy gets and the it's quite. Yeah, so that always sticks with me. I really like Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
Not Lord of the Rings, different book.
Yeah.
Flies.
Very, very different. No, I can see why you chose it. I love it as well. Brilliant. Okay, so last question.
No
way. You will be relieved. Favourite kind of day.
Right. Not waking up.
No.
Don't wake me up.
But once you've been forced out of bed by your husband to get on with life.
It's that initial getting out of bed that does me in. But I love life. I got to say, when we've all been out at work during the day, the kids have been at school when there was such a thing as school, and then we'd all come back and I cook dinner. What I like is kind of the 5 o'clock. Starting to cook dinner, preparing things, maybe the cheeky glass of wine comes out, because you've got to cook with wine. How can Keith Floyd be wrong? So, and then that whole cooking, and then we sit down as a family and we catch up with our day, and it's a really important moment for families, I think, to be together. And,
again, totally understandable answer. That's just
And we do sometimes do this thing where we go around the table and we say, what was your favourite part of your day? What was your least favourite part of your day? So you're used to being interviewed, basically? I interrogate my children daily. Who have you been with? What did they say to you? Yeah. So that time of evening, 5-ish into evening. Yeah. And then watching telly.
Yeah.
whatever's on.
Yeah, great.
Although I don't watch so much telly anymore.
No.
Not live TV.
No,
It's more sort of...
Yeah, it's box sets.
Yeah, it is.
Same here. Hardly ever watch live TV.
Yeah. I think that's the same for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, especially they're not making a lot of TV at the moment, are they?
Well, you know.
Everything's put on hold.
Yeah, great. Okay, so a couple more questions for you all. So, lastly, finish off these sentences.
Ooh.
So, my superpower would be...
Invisibility.
Right.
I bet everyone's gone invisible or fly, haven't they? See, if you're invisible, you can do stuff. You can find out stuff. You can be a bit sneaky. You could maybe,
Yes.
sneak into a concert or something. It's really dishonest.
You'd never pay for another ticket again. In fact, you'd never pay for anything.
Because no one would know you were there. And you'd hear gossip. You'd find out all the gossip, wouldn't you? Everybody's gossip. It'd be like being a fly on the wall or something.
Oh, it'd be fascinating.
But I'd have to have a cloak. I'd have to swish my cloak of invisibility around me. That would be dramatic.
Well, yeah, the possibilities are endless there, aren't they?
I mean, flying's good.
Yeah.
Flying, who wouldn't want to fly?
Yeah.
You want to fly?
I want to fly.
Yeah.
But I completely get the invisible thing.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Great.
There's many questions I need to know about being invisible. Like if you were to pick up a coffee cup, would they see, I guess they would see the coffee cup
And would
move.
they'd see the coffee
So you
in
could
the
freak
stomach?
people out as well. Like you could pretend to be sort of a poltergeist. Anyway, it's endless.
Yeah, so I've got to think I'd use it for mischief. I'd be round people's houses and
And moving things.
moving plants and stuff.
Yeah, you'd have to move things and people, that would be brilliant. Mind games.
So you'd use it as a force of good.
Yes, I would.
So, okay, drawing to the end. So my favourite memory of Dayspace is...
Oh.
This is a tough one.
It's a tough one, but I know the answer because there was no time ever like it. It was the first day that I turned up. Stuart had phoned and said, just come, you'll love it. And at the time, do you remember Andy who used to work here?
Yes.
Everyone remembers Andy. So he was doing the Thursday morning big singing session. And I remember turning up and I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know. And I walked into this room of energy and fun. And I sat and cried through the whole thing.
I remember you telling me this.
I just cried. I mean, they were happy tears, guys. There is such a thing as happy tears because I felt like I'd come, not home, but it kind of was a bit like that because I'd not been in the community for such a long time.
So the gap between your first...
Well, it probably was around about 8 kind of years, 7, 8 years, something like that. I've probably got that wrong, but it was a considerable amount of time that I'd had off from working in the, within the community with which we work, and it got me, and it's a nice memory. It's not a sad memory because I was crying. It was good.
Yeah, right.
Just like, this is for me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna love this now.
That's lovely. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last question, Julie. You'll be relieved.
Is it though?
There may be one or two I make up towards the end just to make you feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
I've not decided yet.
I'm ready for you.
Okay, so one more question. Favourite song from any of our Dayspace sessions? And again, this is something.
Well, it's not so much as a favourite song, although it's a great song and it is a good song. It's fun, but just having the memory of us recording it during that whole severe lockdown period. I'm going to go with Do Ron Ron because it was a really fun thing to record with you.
Brilliant.
In my ears.
And it's just such an upbeat kind of song, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, it's really
It's all major, it's all pink.
Yeah. So should we have a listen to
Let's have a listen to
Do Ron Ron. Enjoy.
Run, 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 I knew what he was thinking.
Okay, well, that was a lovely choice.
Do you remember doing that?
I do remember doing
It was fun.
Yeah, and we sort of recorded at Harvey. We tried to make it look like we were playing
Yeah, don't
together.
give away our secrets.
Oh, damn.
Our recording secrets.
Better not do that.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
All I remember is sitting there thinking it's really, really hot and sunny outside, and I just want to go and lie in the sun. So let's do this.
It. Yeah.
It was quite weird.
Yeah.
But
No,
but yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So, okay, well, that's it. Really interesting, Julia. I didn't think I'd say that at the end of the interview. I'm surprised I'm still awake, frankly.
Yeah, well done.
But
those matchsticks help.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did. No, it was really interesting. So, okay, well, thanks for that. And be sure to check out our online podcasts and stuff. There's plenty of stuff online for you to have a look at along with these interviews.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, and thanks to Julia.
Oh, thanks, Anthony.
And we'll see you later.
All right, take care, guys. Bye.
Dayspace Lockdown Discs.